We're back. It's time for another edition of the Carolina Insider. We are back with our streaming shows for the year here on, by the way, I'm Jones, he's Adam. So Tuesdays, we're going to look back, recap what happened on the previous weekend, get you ready for the upcoming week. Wednesdays, we're going to have a guest or a feature. Thursdays, we'll have our social drive, all no longer than 10 minutes on any of them. This week, we're here today. We've got Ants and Dorrance tomorrow. What a way to start it. No social drive this week, but we're back with that next week for our full 3 shows. Adam, are you ready to get on the grind?
Is this week 0?
This is week 0 for the pod, yeah, for the streaming pod.
Yeah.
And let's get started because the Tar Heels are getting started with their week 0 game coming up on Saturday at 8 o'clock. Kenan Stadium against Florida A&M. And Adam Mac Brown met with the media on Monday, and he just straight up started his press conference by going through the depth chart, position by position. That includes quarterback, where there was a lot of interest. Here is what Coach Brown had to say about who would be taking the snaps for his team.
At the quarterback position, Drake will walk out there first. We feel like that competition has been outstanding. Both could play. Drake has earned the right. I'm not going to get into why and what, and because it's very close, and we're pleased with both of them. And both will play at some point during the year because you've got inexperienced quarterbacks. You're going to need some. We could have helped Sam some and didn't have a backup ready to go in and help him at times when he was young. We do now. So we've got 2 really, really good quarterbacks, and both have been very impressive spring and preseason practice, and we're excited about both their futures.
Of course, the May family has a long history with the University of North Carolina and Carolina athletics. Drake's dad, Mark, a former quarterback at Carolina. His brother, Luke, who had this to say, let's go there for his brother on, is that Instagram, Adam? Yeah, can you help me out there, Adam?
That's Instagram, C. Jones. That's pictures, and Twitter is words.
Okay, I understand now. So Luke, of course, former Tar Heel basketball player, with the congratulations for his brother. But Adam, even saying all that, it was pretty clear when Mac Brown was talking then, and what we have heard him say several times, that yes, Drake Maye will walk out first, but 𝗿𝗿𝗄𝗏 is still very much in play at that position. As
Coach Brown said in that clip, when you have a young, inexperienced quarterback, you're probably going to need 2 quarterbacks at some point in the season, whether that's on Saturday or more down the road. So 𝗿𝗿𝗄𝗏 will get his time at some point, but the first time is going to go to Drake Maye, who's going to have the luxury of some experienced weapons behind him, specifically Josh Downs, who, of course, is Carolina's best offensive player, and as you would expect, because he is the best offensive player, he's getting all the preseason accolades.
Yeah, Josh named 2nd team preseason All-America by the Associated Press. Of course, Downs coming off a season a year ago where he rewrote the record books as far as receptions and receiving yards for Carolina. And Adam, Josh Downs really, by far, the most experienced player on that Tar Heel offense, at least in the skill positions. A lot of new names and young names in the wide receivers and running back positions other than Josh Downs.
Yeah, Tar Heels have some young receivers they're excited about. Mac Brown mentioned Gavin Blackwell, who's had a good camp on Monday. You'll probably see him on Saturday against the Rattlers. That running back position is stocked. I mean, there's 5 or 6 players who you could see carrying the ball. DJ Jones going to walk out there first, which is what we call starters now. He's going to walk out there first, but you're going to see a whole host of Tar Heel tailbacks, including some exciting freshmen behind him.
Let's flip over to the defensive side. And Adam, at least on paper, and you still got to see it on the field, but on paper, Carolina's defensive line appears like it could be a real strength on this team. Mac Brown mentioned, I think, 8 guys that he said were blue team members, which means he and the coaching staff feel like they could be out on the field at any time, in any situation, without a second thought from anyone.
Yeah, these are players with big recruiting reputations, big high school reps, who now it's time to transition that to college and produce on the field. I think that depth helps because not only can you cycle them in and out, but they're going to push each other. This isn't a situation like Carolina's had on the defensive line a couple seasons recently where you've got 4 you trust, and really even if they mess up, they're still staying out there. They're going to be competition for snaps, and when you have that blue team approach where essentially everyone is a starter, you know you have to produce or else somebody's coming in right behind you.
Of course, Carolina made a change on the defensive side staff-wise this offseason, with 𝗫𝗍𝗃 returning to Carolina as the defensive coordinator. And Coach 𝗫𝗍𝗃 also met with the media on Monday of this week, and he said, gosh, he's just ready to go and see his guys out on the field.
It's great. It's challenging. We love the X and O part. We love the strategy, all of those things. I cannot wait to see these guys play. And so this will be the first time I've seen them play in game conditions, right? And I want them to be excited. I want them to be confident. I want them to, feel like, they're great with the plan and they understand the plan, and that we just go out and play and we let our talent take over. So that's kind of the name of the game.
So 8 o'clock on Saturday night, Carolina and Florida A&M in Kenan Stadium. First ever meeting between these two schools. Radio-wise, we'll be on the air at 7 p.m. Couple of times just to remind you of as far as game day on Saturday. The Bell Tower Walk will be at 5:30. A little different path this year due to some construction around Kenan. It'll go from the walkway from the Genome Science Center to the Kenan Football Center. Again, 5:30 is the Bell Tower Walk. Tar Heel Town, presented by Coca-Cola, opening up at 4 o'clock. That will have music, that will have games, inflatables, food trucks. The Florida A&M band and the Tar Heel band both going to perform in Tar Heel Town, so it should be a great day. A lot of stuff going on around Chapel Hill. There's also an HBCU celebration around this game, so there'll be some unique things that happen during the game as well. So should be a terrific weekend in Chapel Hill. Can't wait to see you. Adam, a lot of other stuff going on, though, than just football. We mentioned Anson Dorrance will be our guest tomorrow here on the video pod, and his team off to a terrific start, 2 shutout victories this past weekend.
Per usual, 2-0 for Anson Dorrance. No big deal for the women's soccer program. You'll hear him talk tomorrow about a big win over what he believes is a really good Tennessee club. Tar Heels beat them 3-0 last week, and then followed that up out of conference again against UNC Wilmington this past Sunday. Beat the Seahawks 2-0 at Dorrance Field. Great crowds for both of those games. And the Tar Heels, as usual, bringing in some pieces. They've lost some pieces. They're gaining some pieces. One of the most important is freshman 𝗲𝗍𝗿𝗄𝗏. Missed all of last season with a torn ACL. She came back this week, and within 5 or 6 minutes of being on the pitch, Jones, she scored a goal. So 𝗲𝗍𝗿𝗄𝗏 just doing what you can expect to see plenty more of from her.
Tar Heels on the road this week. They'll be in Texas to face Texas and also Baylor. Both those games will be played in Austin this upcoming weekend. So women's soccer are the only team that's played an official game thus far, but a bunch of other sports about to get started. That includes field hockey. They'll be taking place in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. That's in Winston-Salem. They'll face off with Michigan on Friday, then Iowa on Sunday. The field hockey team, no surprise, picked to win the ACC. Also had 2 all-conference members as far as preseason all-ACC. Aaron Matson, our best friend in the entire world, and Meredith Shoulder, both preseason all-ACC. Congratulations to them. ACC, always quality in the sport of field hockey. Volleyball starts its season. 3 matches in the state of Colorado coming up, starting with Colorado State in Fort Collins. Men's soccer, ranked number 24 in the nation. They will open their season at home in Chapel Hill. It's the Nike Carolina Classic. They're taking on Air Force on Thursday, South Florida on Sunday. So a bunch of stuff about to get started. And Adam will wrap up with a congratulations to another one of our great friends, former pod guest, Alyssa USB.
She's only our second best friend in the world because she's younger than Aaron Matson.
That's right.
But Alyssa USB with a very productive summer, including playing for the U.S. in the FIBA 3-vs-3 Nations League. I have to imagine Alyssa USB would be a beast in 3-on-3 because she can do it all. As you see here, she can even do it while being injured.
Yeah, look at it. She got a big cut there on the left knee. Fought through it.
And fought through it with some great hops, as not only did she produce on the court, but also in warm-ups as, look, that's Alyssa USB's head on my body dunking. But then there's also video of this.
Yeah, let's see this. All right. Yeah. See, that's what you learn when you're a guest on the pod. You can just get up like Alyssa USB did. So congratulations to Alyssa and the rest of her team taking home the title there. All right, getting started. All season long we're going to be here. So tomorrow we're back with Anson Dorrance. Don't forget the audio podcast as well on Tuesdays and Fridays. It's go time. We're excited. Thanks for being here on the Carolina Insider.